Today I'm putting it to the test. Can you really freeze chicken eggs? Let's find out. If you're like many of us, you've probably found yourself with a surplus of eggs at some point, whether it's from a prolific backyard flock or a great deal at the grocery store. Freezing eggs can be a great way to preserve them for later use, but is it really possible to freeze chicken eggs without compromising their quality or safety? Freezing eggs is a bit more complicated than you might think. Many people assume that you can simply toss eggs in the freezer and call it a day, but this couldn't be further from the truth. The problem is that eggs don't freeze well in their shells, and attempting to do so can lead to a real mess. The water inside the egg expands as it freezes, which can cause the shell to crack or even shatter. This not only renders the egg unusable, but it can also create a real cleaning headache. When you try to freeze an egg in its shell, the likelihood of it surviving the process intact is pretty low. The egg white and yolk will still freeze, but the texture and consistency will be completely off when you thaw it. The egg will be watery and unappetizing, and it may even be unsafe to eat. This is why many people are skeptical about freezing eggs, and it's easy to understand why. If you've ever tried to freeze an egg and had it turn out badly, you might be wondering if it's even worth attempting. The main issue with freezing eggs is that the water content inside the egg makes it difficult to freeze without causing damage to the texture. The water inside the egg expands and contracts as it freezes and thaws, which can cause the egg to become watery and unappetizing. This is why it's so important to understand the proper techniques for freezing eggs, rather than simply tossing them in the freezer and hoping for the best. By taking a few simple steps, you can freeze your eggs safely and effectively and enjoy them for months to come. To properly freeze chicken eggs, you'll need to start by cracking them into a bowl or container. This will allow you to whisk the eggs together and remove any air pockets that might cause them to become watery or separate during the freezing process. You can also add a little salt or sugar to the eggs to help preserve them and prevent the growth of bacteria. Once you've prepared your eggs, you can pour them into an airtight container or freezer bag and store them in the freezer. The science behind freezing eggs is actually pretty fascinating. When you freeze an egg, the water molecules inside the egg slow down and come together to form a crystal lattice structure. This structure is what gives frozen eggs their solid, icy texture. However, when you thaw a frozen egg, the water molecules begin to move again, and the lattice structure breaks down. This is why it's so important to freeze eggs properly, using the right techniques and storage methods. By doing so, you can help preserve the texture and quality of the egg, and ensure that it's safe to eat when you thaw it. When you're ready to use your frozen eggs, simply thaw them overnight in the fridge, or thaw them quickly by submerging the container in cold water. Once they're thawed, you can use them just like fresh eggs in any recipe. The key is to make sure that you're freezing and thawing the eggs safely, to prevent the growth of bacteria and other microorganisms. By following a few simple steps and using the right techniques, you can enjoy your frozen eggs for months to come. One of the most effective ways to freeze chicken eggs is to use an ice cube tray. Simply crack an egg into each cube and then freeze the tray. Once the eggs are frozen, you can pop them out of the tray and store them in a freezer bag or airtight container. This method is great because it allows you to freeze individual eggs, which can be really convenient when you're cooking or baking. You can also use this method to freeze egg whites or yolks separately, which can be really useful if you're looking for a low-cost way to make meringues or other egg-based desserts. Freezing eggs in ice cube trays is also a great way to preserve their quality and texture. Because the eggs are frozen in small individual portions, they're less likely to become watery or develop off flavors during the freezing process. This method also makes it easy to thaw only the eggs you need, which can help reduce waste and save you money in the long run. By using an ice cube tray to freeze your eggs, you can enjoy high-quality, convenient, and affordable eggs all year round. Another key tip for freezing eggs is to make sure that you're storing them safely and hygienically. This means using airtight containers or freezer bags that are designed for freezer storage and making sure that the eggs are sealed tightly to prevent contamination. You should also label the containers or bags with the date and contents so that you can easily keep track of how long the eggs have been frozen. By following these simple steps, you can enjoy your frozen eggs with confidence, knowing that they're safe to eat and will retain their quality and texture. The most important thing to remember when freezing chicken eggs is to be patient and gentle when handling them. Frozen eggs can be delicate and they require careful handling to prevent them from becoming damaged or contaminated. By taking the time to properly prepare and store your eggs, you can enjoy high-quality, delicious eggs all year round. Whether you're a backyard chicken keeper or just a fan of eggs, freezing them can be a great way to preserve their quality and extend their shelf life. In summary, freezing chicken eggs can be a bit tricky, but it's definitely possible to do it safely and effectively. By understanding the common misconceptions about freezing eggs and taking the time to properly prepare and store them, you can enjoy high-quality eggs all year round. Whether you're looking to preserve a surplus of eggs or just want to have a convenient and affordable source of eggs on hand, freezing them can be a great option. If you've tried freezing eggs before, we'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments below. What methods have you used, and how have they worked out for you? Do you have any favorite recipes that use frozen eggs, or any tips for preserving their quality and texture? Let us know and be sure to check out our other videos for more tips and tricks on food preservation and storage. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video.